What's up guys, Ghost here, and today we're talking Modern Warfare. There has been a new patch update and also a massive leak of 38 maps. So I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later on in the video, but I wanted to start off by going over some of the patch notes that have come out for the 2nd of November. So first of all, some more fixes to prevent crashes and improve stability across all platforms. Secondly, Battle Chatter has been removed from Tactical 1 Life modes. Now, if you don't know what Battle Chatter is, that's basically where you or one of the other soldiers in your team shouts out where an enemy soldier is. It might be, hey, he's by the barn, he's by the ladder, he's by the car, whatever it may be. It essentially gives away the position of one of the enemy players, and since they haven't even had pings on the minimap when players fire, it seems a little bit odd that they will put that in the game. So apparently they've only removed it for the Tactical 1 Life modes, so that means Search and Destroy and Cyber Warfare. A good change, I think, since you really don't want to lose your 1 life in those game modes just because one of the enemy teammates decided to shout a call out which is completely randomized and could have happened at any time during the game. So I think that's a good change. Okay, next, APCs and tanks in Ground War no longer award points towards a nuke. So if you would be running the Point Man perk, apparently getting kills in these vehicles would stack up towards you getting a nuke, and obviously they're kind of OP at the moment in Ground War, so good idea removing that. Now this next one is pretty big. Claymores, stun grenades, can now force Claymores into a disabled state for 3 seconds. I think we've all been in that situation where you throw a stun grenade around the corner, you get a hit marker, you run around the corner to kill the guy, only to step headfirst into a Claymore and die. You feel kind of cheated, you know, you got the drop on the guy, you got the nade around the corner, you stunned him good. So now it will also disable the Claymore for 3 seconds, giving you ample time to kill both the enemy soldier and probably take out the Claymore as well. Claymores on the whole do feel quite OP in Call of Duty, which is nothing new, they always have, so I think a little mini nerf to them is definitely a good thing. And then we have a small change to Footsteps, so they will now filter out based on occlusion more. So essentially I think what Infinity Ward is saying here is when there is a wall between you and the enemy soldier whose footsteps you can hear, that will be better reflected in game now, and I think that's definitely been a problem. A lot of the time the enemy footsteps are so loud, and even your allied teammates' footsteps, that you'll be spinning around thinking there's an enemy soldier directly behind you in the room, just because they're that loud, and then he actually walks around the side of the window or through a door and kills you, and all the time he was on the other side of the wall, but it didn't really sound like it because there wasn't that separation of sound between somebody who's in the room with you and somebody who's on the other side of a wall. Right then, with that said, let's get down to the maps. So about 12 hours ago, a Reddit user by the name of Senescalo made a post detailing no less than 38 datamine maps from the Modern Warfare PC files that will most likely be coming to the game in the near future. Now before we go any further into this, I would like to point out that none of this has been officially confirmed by EA or Infinity Ward. So first up, we have several new gunfight maps. Now for most of these maps only the file name has been found, but for a few of them we've been lucky enough to discover a picture or two. So we've got Cage, Cargo and Hook, and then we have Exclusion Zone, which kind of reminds me of one of the single player missions from the original Modern Warfare, with that Ferris wheel in the background, the abandoned cars, and the long grass. Sounds interesting. Then we have Shoot House, which looks like exactly that, a building that has been shot to shreds with half a helicopter stuck onto the side like a nice little conservatory. Next up we have a very long list of 6v6 and 10v10 maps, so I'll just run through these quickly for you. So in alphabetical order we have Anaya Attack, Crash, which of course is an old map, Dam, Krovnik Farmland, Gulag, Hospital, Layover, Lowline, Lumber, Malishev, Millbase, Oasis, Port, Prison. I think this next one is Ravine. I'm going to have to assume that's Ravine. Then we have Shipment, which is of course a classic from the original Modern Warfare, really one of those small maps that you get intense action on, and that has a day and night version. Then we have Slums, Stadium, Subbase, Super, Urzikstan, Torres, Transit and TV Station. Phew, quite a list, but here we also get a look at some pictures for some of these. So this one here is called Farida, and then we have the iconic Rust from Modern Warfare 2. So Rust to Modern Warfare 2 is essentially what Shipment was to Modern Warfare 1. I feel like every FPS game has to have one of those super small, intense firefight maps on there. Definitely a fan favourite. I just hope nobody gets a chopper gunner or it'll all be over in a flash. This one is called Takedown and seems to have a large helipad as one of the centerpieces, and then we have Borderline. Not much on the layout of this one, but the artwork seems very nice. Next we have one new map for Ground War, Smetna Farms, and finally we have what seem to be two training maps, Gun Course and Marksman Range, so we'll finally have somewhere to mess around with new weapons and attachments. So I think this should please a lot of players. It sounds like people haven't been too thrilled with the new maps that we didn't get to play in the beta, especially ones like Piccadilly where there are just so many vehicles to hide behind. I think a lot of players really feel helpless and like they're way too unpredictable, especially given the lightning fast time to kill. So some new maps hopefully on the horizon is, I think, a good thing, and hopefully soon Infinity Ward will give us the ability to not just veto game modes from the quick play option, but also maps, so we can avoid any of the ones we dislike. So Infinity Ward have already told us that we'll be getting a steady stream of content both via a premium season pass and a free stream of content, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some of these maps drop in the near future. Also, if you didn't notice, in the background footage here they added Kill Confirmed to the list of game modes as well as the night vision modes, so go and give those a try if you haven't already. That's me done, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.